The president said he was going into today's hearing with an open mind. He said yesterday he could change his mind about Kavanaugh if he thought he was guilty. The hearing was barely over when he tweeted his support for his pick. White House spokesperson for Kavanaugh's confirmation, Kerri Kupec, is here to weigh in on how things went today. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
All right, you were in the hearing room today. There were some breaks along the way, and we heard in the morning that there were concerns at the White House about how credible Dr. Ford was. They thought it was going to be potentially an insurmountable problem for Judge Kavanaugh. What was the mood as the day went on, if you can tell us?
Well, it was an emotional day. I think that was palpable in the room. But I think the president summed it up best. It was when he talked about Judge Kavanaugh's testimony. It was powerful and riveting and honest. You know, I was sitting there. I was sitting to the left of me was a former girlfriend of Judge Kavanaugh, who knows him very well, was there to support him. To my right was Alyssa Milano, something I never thought I'd be saying.
Yeah, not at a Senate hearing.
You know, within my line of sight, I could see Judge Kavanaugh's parents, which was tough to watch. It was tough to watch his mom watch her son undergo this, and she was choked up a number of times. That was difficult, but it was clear by the end of today that we really learned nothing new. We still have Judge Kavanaugh categorically and unequivocally denying Ms. Ford's allegations, and it's not just him. It's everyone else that she described at the party as well. So this is not a he said, she said situation. This is a she said versus what four people have said.
Did you feel she came across as credible?
She was sympathetic. There's no doubt in that. She was earnest, but there were a number of inconsistencies in her testimony. For instance, she said she could not make the hearing this past Monday, and her attorney said that was because she has a fear of flying, and she says that's because of what happened, this incident. And so they asked for a few days so that she would be able to drive to Washington, D.C. from California.
And that's from her legal team? Because we've heard the rumors, and I wasn't sure where that was coming from.
Yeah, that was from her. So she's speaking, you know, you speak through your lawyers, right, obviously. Yeah. That was from her legal team. And so it turns out, well, she took a plane to Washington, D.C. to this hearing today.
And I mean, also to Costa Rica.
But not just that, right? She's a world traveler. She regularly takes planes. She can't remember if she showed the Washington Post reporter her therapist notes, which was just a couple of months ago. And she also said she wished they could have come to California, they being the Senate committee staff.
And they offered.
Chairman Grassley offered a number of times. That's public information. They offered to go out there. So there were some gaps.
All right, really quickly before we run out of time, I want to ask you about this idea that the Democrats hammered over and over again to Brett Kavanaugh today, saying, you asked the White House to get this FBI investigation launched. He said, I'll do anything the committee wants me to do. And they're saying, no, we want you to ask it and tell the White House this is what you want. Why is that not happening? Well, from the White House's viewpoint.
Well, first of all, I thought they were putting Judge Kavanaugh in a completely unfair position. In this country, you're innocent until proven guilty. You don't direct investigations into yourself when you're saying I'm innocent. So let's be very clear about that. And as good as the Me Too movement has been, Me Too does not replace innocent until proven guilty. And as far as the FBI is concerned, at this point, we're talking about a 36-year allegation. It's kind of out of their purview at this point. So all they would be doing is compiling statements. And those statements have already been compiled from the key people who were there who said this never happened, and that's where we're at.
And one of the key players before we go, Mark Judge, forgive me for reading off my computer screen, but our Mike Emanuel's just gotten this letter that he sent in to the committee, again saying he doesn't want to be involved with this. He's a recovering alcoholic and cancer survivor. He struggled with depression and anxiety. He avoids public speaking. He says, we were friends in high school, haven't spoken in several years. I do not recall the events described by Dr. Ford in her testimony. I never saw Brett act in the manner Dr. Ford describes. I knowingly submit this letter under penalty of felony. So that's where we are tonight with Mark Judge. Kerri, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.